Good morning, everybody. This is Spider of Crescendo Games. Just getting ready for work. So thought I'd record this on my way out. Oh, one of the things that I feel really strongly about is design. I've read a lot of games, like a lot of people have at this point, and have I've developed a bit of my own philosophy when it comes to how design should work. In this case, I don't look at the mechanics of the game first. Every time I've done that, I've walked away not I've walked away not very happy with the results. And the reason why is because games are not about mechanics. Games are not about tricks or anything else. Games are about people. Games are about people, and they are what people do. The whole Son of Man is made for the man is made for the Sabbath sort of a deal. So essentially, if you're going to make a game, you have to think about what the people are doing first, and then build out from there. And the more complicated and not complicated, the more thought through this initial vision of what the people are doing, the more holistic and well designed the game is going to be. So as an example, my game Crescendo, which you could go check out the ash can and kind of laugh about how it's in need of editing and all of that. Or you can go check out the quick start, give it a bit of a try. Crescendo was designed to answer the question of why someone does something. The players were meant to be asking, why are you doing this? Why are you doing the things you do? Is that good enough? Is there a better why available for the same? Could you be doing things for a better reason, or are your reasons for doing these things just bad, and that makes your actions bad, or is your reason good, but you haven't figured out a good way to go and see that through yet. These are all questions that when you're playing Crescendo, they should be happening. The game prioritizes why over anything else. So everything about the game is designed to kind of push back and invert and subtly get in the player's way. Not terribly, and not in a way that isn't fun, but the game is meant to get in the player's way. Items have limited usage on them through, via like Breath of the Wild and all of that. If you use them too many times without repairing them, they break in the game. So if you're going to do something, you would better make sure that what you did was what you wanted to do. Otherwise, when something comes up that you do actually want to do, the item won't be there. Now, without going back to town and fixing it. The way that the inventory of the game is built is, if you look at the character sheet, you'll notice that a good chunk of it is just inventory, where you put your skills and your items and the conditions and other such sundry things that normally wouldn't put in an inventory. And the reason why you have it that way is because everything that goes into there has a hard time getting back out. So anytime you do something, there's a chance you may gum up your inventory, and if the inventory gets too full, it starts pushing out good things. Skills go out first, you know, and so it's designed to make you look and go, well, do I really think I should do whatever action it is that I think I should that I'm about to do? Do I really think that's a good idea? Is it really worth it? And the answer may be yes. And obviously, I've played many sessions of this game by now, so obviously people come up with yeses. But the whole experience points towards this. Inside of the game, it's players who decide that rolling should happen. And rolling always has enormous consequences that are very, very, very uncomfortable and unpredictable. So are you sure you want to stamp your foot right now? Because if you stamp your foot, things are going to change and you don't know how they're going to. So you'd better make sure that the thing that you're doing actually matters to you. Because if it doesn't, well, you just set yourself back. And what I found is that if you phrase everything in the game as some form of stop, think, and take a moment, players will automatically start doing that. They start thinking in terms of why immediately. They don't think in terms of how. They think in terms of why. Why should I do whatever action it is that I'm about to do? And is there a better way to accomplish my ideal? And this is a ton of fun, but it all comes down to all the mechanics pointing to this one kind of conversation that I wanted the game to be about, which is everybody asking, well, why do I want to do that? And if you can get everybody at the table to be having the same basic kind of conversation, where everybody is on topic, so to speak, then I think you have a really, really good game going. You have really good play. And so, as by way of another example, I'm currently working through a game as, Crescendo's text gets worked on and all of that. I'm working on another game right now called One Final Effort. And obviously I've designed more stuff than just Crescendo, and I've always been walking away feeling like whatever it was I designed was lacking. And so this idea that I came up with, or that I stumbled across, I'm sure other people have thought of it, but I only just recently stumbled across it myself. I realized I hadn't really been applying it to anything else I designed, which is probably part of why I felt it to be so lacking. And so I kind of sat down and was thinking about, for One Final Effort, which is meant to in some ways be the antithesis of Crescendo. It's a big clubhouse rock'em sock'em adventure game. I've been reading a lot of, like I've said in another video, I've been reading some AD&D, I've been reading Zero-E, and this idea of like clubhouse play and of all, and of this adventure game where the heroism just sort of organic goes up, is appealing to me. So I thought I'd just sit down and kind of noodle around with it. And I realized that I hadn't been asking that question that I asked in Crescendo. what do I want the participants at the table to be doing? What kind of conversation are they having? And I think for one final effort, I haven't come up with a central um, with a central question yet, right? I haven't done that yet. I'm writing and I'm kind of chasing it, trying to figure it out. Um, but I don't have anything super concrete like with Crescendo, but it's all coming down to this one moment in college where I watched my brother-in-law and one of our mutual friends beat Halo 3 for the first time. I watched them beat, I watched the Warthog run. For those of you who don't know, the Warthog run in Halo 3 is absolute bonkers. And it was so much fun to watch players who whipped me solid in Halo 3. I'm a terrible Halo 3 player. And my brother-in-law and this other guy are definitely not. But it was fun to be in the room and to watch as all the hard work that they put in come to fruition in this one really, really, really insane Warthog run. And to see to see how everyone was watching this one moment and were really, really, really into it. And I mean, I was into it. It was awesome. And I wasn't even the one playing, and I was having a great time. It's stuck in my head for, man, it's almost 20 years. I feel old. Anyway, so I think what one final effort may come down to is sort of a twist on the name, which is a title from one of the Halo 3 soundtrack from the Halo 3 soundtrack. I think it may come back down to that. Is it worth it? Not why am I doing this, but is it worth it? What I'm doing, is it worth it? And anyone who's ever seen the Warthog run in Halo 3 has an idea of why that's a question. It's probably something that anyone who has played Dark Souls would be able to, look at and go, oh yeah, I get that. I understand that question. So I haven't whittled it down to like the most primal question yet. And you'll notice what I'm doing. I'm not sitting there and just I'm interrogating the question. I'm trying to figure out why I think that should be the center of the conversation. And what that might look like. So, I think that once that's done, once that question is resolved, once it's been put into something, why is this worth it? Once that's been put into something a bit more actionable, I think that this game's just going to fall right into place. But obviously, I'm going to have to figure that out. So to sum up, I think that game design needs to go back and examine the fact that it's people playing the game first, and that when people are playing the game, you have to be designing so that way the people are doing the action that you think is fun. So that way they're asking the questions that you think are fun, and that they are doing these things, like regardless of whatever the mechanical expression of that looks like, without without knowing to ask that question, the game will merely be proficient. It won't guide people into the kind of gameplay that we usually consider great. Now what makes great gameplay is something that we're going to have to save for another video, but that's where I think it's going. Anyway, I hope everybody has a lovely day. I'm going to work.